That's right! Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for Ringside. Got a bunch of news lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, we're just gonna whack! On Wrestling Observer Radio, there was speculation that Gunther vs. Brock Lesnar could be the plan for WrestleMania 40. So this coincides to what I said last episode, where Gunther just announced that he's going to be in the Rumble, and then they were talking about Brock's going to be showing up on TV soon, and I even said that it could potentially build to a WrestleMania match, and I was also like, well, it could also build to a Royal Rumble match, and technically that's the truth, because if we're going through with the speculation, then I assume that means that Gunther's going to show up, and then maybe like one or two entries later, Lesnar's gonna show up, and then they're gonna slap each other, and then they're gonna clobber each other, and then they're gonna clobber each other both over the ropes. One's gonna eliminate the other, and then maybe it'll be like a Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant well, I forget who. Hogan got eliminated by someone and then like pulled somebody over the rope to eliminate them. It was one of those, like maybe that'll happen or something. I don't 100% know, but that's what it sounds like. I wouldn't be opposed to it, right? I mean, if you're gonna have a match at WrestleMania, I would love to see Gunther versus Lesnar. That would definitely be great. So yeah, I mean, I highly doubt Lesnar's gonna win, but I don't know. I mean, to be fair, he won his match against Omos, so I don't know. I don't necessarily know what we're going to do. Either way, excited and can't wait to see the build to the match more than the match itself, to be honest. Next, Fightful notes that WWE never gave any real consideration having Jinder Mahal win the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins on Raw this week. Further, a Damian Priest cash-in was never happening either, although it was teased yet again. You're gonna have people believe that the title could change hands, though, and I feel like I believed it. I'm not gonna lie. I popped for the Indusher, Indusher interferences, and then Damian coming out. I popped for that. I was definitely excited to see that. Man, I really did want him to win. I'm not gonna lie. I really did want him to win. I wanted Seth to hinder the Jinder just so that he could get smacked upside the head and win the title. It was a great match. Right, which really is a testament to Seth Rollins and also Jinder. I hear he's injured, not Jinder. I hear that Seth is injured, and that may get in the way of some plans. I'll have to read up on that. I haven't really heard anything too crazy about that as of yet. But all in all, man, I think it was a great match, and really, it definitely shows that, if you wanted to, you could have Jinder, you could slap a title on Jinder, and I definitely feel like he could make it work. Maybe touch up his mic skills a little bit, just so he's not constantly talking about like discrimination and all that sort of stuff. But I would have loved to see it. All in all, great match, and hopefully Seth isn't too injured because of it. Sticking with WWE, during a live stream on Twitch recently, Dakota Kai told fans she's yet to receive medical clearance, despite how well she's moving around these days. I understand though. If I'm a doctor, you know what? I'll take your word for it that you're moving around, and that's great. However, I'm not just going to immediately assume that, because you're moving around, that just automatically means that you can do flips and stunts and be thrown around and all that sort of stuff. I personally would like it better if, she got 100% confirmation. I'm not saying, right, that she has to go to New York and get a doctor and then go to Colorado to get. I would like it if two doctors were in the room and they just sort of like, yanked her leg and like knocked on it and all that sort of stuff, checked the reflexes, and then both of them looked at each other and then looked at her and then nodded, and she'd be like, sweet, that's simply just because, I just really don't want her to get hurt, man. I don't want to go out there and be like, I'm fine, and then they like walk up the ramp and then that's the end of them, so as long as, she feels okay, and with that in consideration, that's good to know, because it obviously means that there's no, like, there's no, like, nerve, you know what I mean? Like, there's no, like, hey, it hurts when I do this type deal. It seems like she's okay. At least it feels like she's okay, and, the fact that we're at that stage now, that's good, right? But again, I would feel a little bit better if she got, how do I put this? So that I can sleep at night, I would like it better if one doctor came in and was like, you're good to go, and then another doctor came in and was like, you're good to go, and then just finally a third doctor came in and was like, you're good to go. Like, I'd be perfectly fine with that, Again, good to know that she's okay, and hopefully she's in the ring sooner rather than later. Moving over to AEW, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that Julia never got a contract offer from AEW, quote, at least as of a couple weeks ago, going on to say, quote, for whatever reason, they didn't go after her. I don't know why. I wouldn't say that this is a huge deal simply because you don't have to go after every single free agent, I feel like at the end of the day, it's just purely down to preference. Like, yeah, I would like them on my roster, and no, that's all right. I don't really feel like having them on my roster. That's why I'm such an advocate, right, for, you know, independent wrestling scenes and, you know, collaboration, right, with other promotions, simply because, you know, it's better that if one wrestler doesn't want to go here, they have somewhere else that they can go, or maybe they can go to, like, Mexico or Japan. You know what I mean? I would prefer that it's not a monopolization where it's like, okay, well, this company is not signing me, so, like, I have no choice but to just sort of float around on the indie circuit, and then if they feel like I'm worthy enough, then they will pluck me from the heavens. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. And even if AEW wanted Julia could still be an independent woman who don't need no man saying to AEW, you know, that's all right, I don't want to be with you, you know? So, I mean, that could always change. And even then, Julia could still be like, no, that's all right. So wherever she decides to go, it's entirely up to her. Finally, Master Republic noted on Twitter that Black Taurus will no longer be going by that name. So, Black Taurus originally worked for AAA, and as of 5 days ago, according to from the reports, he's a free agent. He was a AAA Latin American champion for over 400 days, I believe, and he was a AAA World Trios champion for over 300 days. Technically, it was 301 days, but I guess technically you could also say it was over 300, right? He also wrestled in Ring of Honor and AEW. He wrestled at Final Battle, and I think the last match that he had was, if I remember from the reports, the last match they had was with Vikingo. So he wrestled on Final Battle, and then he wrestled on AEW Rampage. And there's a chance, according to him on Twitter, I think he said that he was going to keep wrestling in the States, and he might wrestle for CMLL. There's a chance that he might go back to Ring of Honor, simply because, you know, that was the, well, okay, he might go back to AEW, which technically is also Ring of Honor, because that was the last company that he wrestled for, but, you know, I don't 100% know, but I'm going to lean on that simply because that's just where he was last, and, you know, I don't know, seems like he'd be a good fit there, seems like he would like it there. Lots of Mexican wrestlers floating around with AEW and Ring of Honor, so, you know, he would fit right in, you know, he would go right into, like, whatever, you know, peg shape, you know, he would fall into. He could also go to CMLL, that's entirely up to him, it's really up to what he wants to do. He's changing his name, right? So, I mean, man, okay, I have no idea what it could be. I mean, it could be John Smith, right, for all we know. So, we're going to have to wait and see what he ends up doing, and good luck to him and his future endeavors. What do we talk about? Gunther vs. Lesnar could be at Mania 40. Definitely seems like that's something that they're building to. Could just be a match, right, at the Rumble. I don't know. I'm not entirely ruling it out. Leave me alone. It seems like it's likely going to happen at Mania, though. That's definitely what you would want on your Mania card if that is something that you're thinking about. All right. They never gave any real consent. Listen, all right. Listen, can you just come here for a second? I know he wasn't winning. I know that. I would have loved for him to win simply because nobody else thought that it was going to happen. So that's why I can't be a booker, because I would do that and everybody would be upset with me, but man, I'd be smiling, okay? I knew he wasn't winning. Still a great match, though. I don't want to say it's a minor injury, because I don't 100% know. Seth did get injured. He injured his left leg. He put weight on it, though, and at this moment, I don't necessarily know how serious the injury is, but he did get injured. Hopefully, he recovers sooner rather than later. Dakota Kai told fans she's yet to receive medical clearance, despite how well she's moving around. Listen, I would rather, you know, a doctor came up and confirmed it 100%. I was like, hey, you know, I don't think that you're 100% just yet, so we're just going to leave it a little bit. But that's just me. Just for posterity, I would rather a doctor tell her whether or not she's good to go. Meltzer said that Julia never got a contract offer from AEW. That's fine. AEW doesn't have to go after every single free agent. You know, it's not their prerogative. If they don't want him, they don't want him. It's no big deal. And Master Republic noted on Twitter that Black Taurus is a free agent. Well, he's not going by that name anymore. At the time of this recording, and that is because he's a free agent, you know. So he was with AAA now, and then he went to AEW and also Ring of Honor. And yeah, man, I mean, wherever he decides to go is wherever he decides to go. I don't know what his name's gonna be, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what that is, folks. That's gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully, everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs all around.